A lunch among family, a seemingly innocent gathering. But for Erin Patterson, what was served that day would turn plates into instruments of death. 3 murdered, 1 left fighting for life, and 1 woman's secrets exposed. This is DeVanished Realms. This is the Leongatha mushroom murders. In July 2023, Erin Trudy Patterson, aged 50, lived in Leongatha, a quiet rural town about 135 kilometers southeast of Melbourne, population roughly 6,000. Her relationship with her in-laws had been fracturing. Invitations missed, events ignored, strained communication. On July 29, 2023, Erin invited 4 relatives to lunch at her home. Her estranged husband's parents, Don and Gail Patterson, Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, and Heather's husband, Ian Wilkinson. Her estranged husband, Simon, was invited but did not attend. Erin prepared beef Wellington, supposedly a friendly meal. They ate. Within hours, all 4 guests became violently ill. The next day, they were hospitalized. 3 of them, Don, Gail, and Heather, died. Ian survived, though critically injured. The poison? The infamous death cap mushroom, scientifically known as Amanita phalloides. One of the most lethal mushrooms known. Even a small ingested piece can destroy the liver. The prosecution alleged that Erin Patterson intentionally laced the beef Wellington with death cap mushrooms, bought dried mushrooms from grocers, and even foraged potentially dangerous mushrooms over months. She served her guests individual Wellington portions containing the toxin while eating from a different plate herself, avoiding illness. Patterson claimed it was an accident, that she had mistakenly included mushrooms in the food, that she faked a cancer diagnosis only because she was embarrassed about undergoing weight loss surgery. But evidence mounted against her. The case went to trial in the Supreme Court of Victoria. It lasted 11 weeks. 50 witnesses were called. Deep forensic investigation. Key evidence presented included Erin's purchase of dried mushrooms from an Asian grocer in Melbourne, her use of a food dehydrator, later disposed in a skip bin, to preserve mushrooms, the fact that she prepared individual portions and did not partake of the poisoned food, her fabrication of a cancer diagnosis to lure guests and keep her children away, discrepancies in her story, phone records, CCTV evidence, social media communications. The defense argued mistakes, memory lapses, or unintended ingestion. But the jury found the prosecution's case convincing beyond reasonable doubt. On July 7, 2025, the verdict: guilty on 3 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Erin Patterson was convicted for the deaths of Don Patterson, Gail Patterson, and Heather Wilkinson. Ian Wilkinson survived. On September 8, 2025, sentencing was passed. Life imprisonment, with a non-parole period of 33 years. Erin will be eligible for parole only when she is 82 years old, if granted, decades away. Justice Christopher Beale condemned the crimes as belonging to the worst category, citing betrayal of trust, cruelty, and premeditation. He noted that Erin likely would spend much of her incarceration in harsh conditions, due to her notoriety and the notoriety of her case. The case was the first sentencing in Victoria to be broadcast live to the public, a rare move. Many saw it as a symbol of how serious the state considered the crime. Where is Erin Patterson now? She serves her sentence in the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre, Melbourne, a maximum security women's prison. Because of her notoriety, she has been held in near solitary confinement, isolated for 22 hours a day, restricted contact. Her children? Devastated, not only by the loss of grandparents, but in a future shadowed by their mother's crimes. Emotional victim impact statements during sentencing revealed the deep trauma inflicted on them. She has maintained her innocence. She has not yet filed a formal appeal. But the clock ticks. Until October 6, 2025, she has the legal window to appeal her conviction or sentence. Whatever happens next, Erin Patterson will spend decades behind bars. Rough prison conditions, public condemnation, and a legacy marked by betrayal and sorrow. But beyond facts and verdicts, there are bigger questions. Intent versus accident. Was this premeditated murder or a tragic culinary mistake? The jurors believed intent, citing deliberate sourcing, portioning, deception. Motive. Erin's alleged motive included jealousy, relationship breakdown, estrangement, wanting to keep her children away, shame about her health situation, weight loss surgery versus fake cancer. trust, and betrayal, she poisoned close relatives under the guise of friendship, family. She lied about her health. She attempted to cover up. That betrayal amplifies the horror. Legal and social implications live broadcast sentencing, mental health in court, media ethics, how community trust is broken, how a simple lunch becomes a nightmare. This story forces us to ask, how well do we really know the people we trust? How fragile are the spaces we call family? And how easily does normal food become instrument of horror? Erin Patterson's story is not just about mushrooms or poisoning, it's about betrayal, trust, desperation, and the darkest edges of humanity. 3 lives lost, 1 battle for survival, and 1 life irrevocably changed by guilt or by choices. Where do you stand? Did Erin Patterson commit murder, or was there something we did not see? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the verdict fits the crime? If you want more real crime stories, mysteries, and world-shaking cases, subscribe to DeVanished Realms. Hit the bell so you never miss what lurks behind closed doors. Until then, stay curious and stay aware. Next time on DeVanished Realms, a case with missing evidence, conflicting confessions, and a timeline that doesn't match. You won't want to miss this.
This is Erin Patterson, caught on camera at Coomwarra Transfer Station disposing of a food dehydrator after serving a deadly mushroom meal that killed 3 people. What follows is her conversation with a detective, where she handed over a decoy phone just a few days later.
29 p.m. on the 5th of August 2023. We take you started with Erin Patterson. Leongatha. Thanks for your patience today, Erin. We're completing our search. The only outstanding item is that mobile phone that you've got there. So I'll seize that now from you at 3:29 p.m. You just pass it to me. Do you need I've got bank card. Do you want us to have a look at it before we take that? Of course.
This sort of pops out. Yeah.
We should think of to. Yes. So, as I sort of pointed out earlier today, there's a provision in the warrant that requires you to assist us to get into these devices. Is there a PIN code on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
It's either one for. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. I'll check that.
There. Is it okay? Oh, okay, well.
That one, though.
That one, so there you go. Good job, easy.
Yeah. Alright,
I have a concern regarding a patient that presented here earlier but has left the building and is potentially exposed to a fatal toxin from mushroom poisoning. And I've tried several times to get hold of her on her mobile phone.
Mushroom poisoning, you said?
Yeah, so there were 5 people that ate a meal on Saturday, and 2 of them are in intensive care at Dandenong Hospital. 2 have just been transferred from Leongatha Hospital to Dandenong Hospital. And
for the attempted murder
murder of Ian Wilkinson, I sentence you to 25 years imprisonment. For the murder of Heather Wilkinson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. For the murder of Gail Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. For the murder of Don Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. All sentences are to be served concurrently. The total effective sentence is life imprisonment, and I fix a non-parole period of 33 years. I declare that you have served 676 days by way of pre-sentence detention. Finally, and by consent, I make the disposal order sought by the prosecution. Would you please remove Ms. Patterson?